And what is going on, hockey fans, and happy Monday. It is, as always, your host of NHL Weekly, Neil Villapiano, and welcome to another edition of NHL Weekly right here exclusively on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. Your number one place to get everything you need to know about what's going on in the NHL and hockey world. And if you're new to the channel, do yourself a favor, leave a like on this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time a new episode comes out of NHL Weekly right here on THPN. Comes out every single Monday, giving you the latest and greatest about what's going on around the hockey world. And as always, shout out to our sponsors over at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel, and also THPN in general. And with the Super Bowl now 2 weeks away, Chiefs versus 49ers, you obviously, even though there is going to be the All-Star break, you'll eventually get a chance to bet more on the NHL All-Star Game and competition, as well as more NHL games. The NBA is still going on. We're getting closer and closer to the start of spring training in baseball. And with so much more going on, you already know DraftKings Sportsbook is your number one place to get in on all of the huge cash prizes. So make sure to sign up, use our promo code THPN, and when you bet just $5 on any bet, you get $200 in risk-free bets. That's an offer you can't refuse. So make sure when you sign up for DraftKings, use our promo code THPN and tell them that your boy Neil Villapiano sent you. And as always, a big shout out and thank you to DraftKings Sportsbook, again, the official sports betting partner of THPN. And make sure, fans, to bet responsibly. So, not a ton happened in general in the NHL world, but we come to you today on what I feel majority of this episode is going to be very serious, a lot of very serious topics that are very, very unfortunate and to some may be difficult to talk about. But I knew when this happened this past week, I knew that this was going to be the main topic that we were going to discuss. And that involves the latest updates in what is going on in the 2018 Hockey Canada World Junior Team investigation. And the latest news that we have is former NHL player Alex Fermenton turned himself into the police on Sunday in Ontario, Canada, in London, Ontario, Canada, in connection with an investigation into an alleged sexual assault by several members of Canada's 2018 World Junior Team. Fermenton's legal team confirmed to the Associated Press that police in London, Ontario have charged Fermenton and several other players. Lawyer Daniel Brown did not say what charge Fermenton was facing. Now, Daniel Brown did have this quote to say. He said, quote, Alex will vigorously defend his innocence and asks that people not rush to judgment without hearing all of the evidence. And that was Brown in a statement sent by email to the Associated Press. Now, in case you have been living under a rock and you're not exactly sure what is going on or what has transpired, let me give you some background. 5 players from that 2018 team have taken a leave of absence over the past week from their current clubs, including Fermenton, a former Ottawa Senators player who's now in Europe. His Swiss team, HC Embry Piotta, said he was granted an indefinite leave of absence for personal reasons and was allowed to return home to Canada. The other players that have taken a leave of absence are NHL players Michael McLeod and Cal Foote of the New Jersey Devils, Carter Hart of the Philadelphia Flyers, and Dylan Dubé of the Calgary Flames. They all went as well on indefinite leave of absences in the recent days. Now, the London police have scheduled a news conference for February 5th to address the situation and declined to comment further. Reached Sunday, a spokesperson said police, quote, will provide all updates at our press conference, end quote. And again, this all goes back to a woman with the World Junior Team that year claims that she was sexually assaulted by 5 to 8 players that were a part of that team. And I think during this past week, the London, Ontario police said that the 5 players that they have pressed charges against, that have charges against them, need to report immediately and turn themselves into the London, Ontario police. Now, the 5 players, including Alex Fermenton, it's not been fully confirmed, except it seems to be Formenton that they are involved. But again, Daniel Brown, Formenton's lawyer, did say to not jump to any conclusions. We still don't know truly what is going on, what are the charges, and what are the repercussions of it, if there are any at all. And again, we're going to have to wait till basically next week, a week from today, to really find out what's going on. And depending on when they have this press conference and everything, we may have a delayed new episode of NHL Weekly once we get all of the information, at least the information that will be given to us by the police. So right now, nobody has been publicly charged with anything. We don't know exactly what the situation is going to be. We just know that it looks like that the London, Ontario police, who have been investigating this situation, do have enough evidence to charge certain players. And it's hard not to believe that the 5 players that I just mentioned are the ones that are involved if they've all taken indefinite leave of absences at the same time. And the police said that the players that are being charged need to report to the London, Ontario Police in Canada ASAP and turn themselves in. So I don't want to speculate anything. I don't want to give you an opinion on anything until we get all of the facts out there in the public. So this is kind of the situation that we're in right now. This is the latest update. Alex Formenton is really kind of the only player that has been what it seems to be publicly charged with something. And again, his representatives have not expressed to the media, have not, told the media what exactly he's being charged with. So we shall see. But I do know this, that if these players are found and charged and guilty of sexual assault, none of these players are ever going to play hockey, or at least for 4 of them, in the NHL ever again. They will probably be terminated right away. And to put it bluntly, most likely they will end up having to do jail time. I don't think there's any other way to look at it. So it's crazy to think where this can go. And again, we don't have all of the information. I don't know what is going to happen. The London, Ontario Police did say that they are going to be holding this press conference via, I believe, their Facebook page. So kind of an interesting way of going about it. But again, maybe it's the only thing that they truly have, but everybody will get a chance to go check it out once they go live. I don't think they've given a time either, but it will be next, next Monday, the 5th. So by this time next week, we will have an idea. Maybe we get the whole story, maybe we don't. We get a good idea as to what exactly is happening, who's being charged, what are the ramifications, and everything like that. And this could be incredibly damaging to Hockey Canada as a whole. And it would certainly be damaging to the players involved, because they may have just thrown away their careers and thrown away many years of their life moving forward for this sexual assault. So we shall see what happens about it. It's a very difficult thing to talk about, but it needs to be talked about. And, we'll see. We'll see what happens once we get to next week. So I just wanted to give you guys that update and kind of give you that's our main thing that I wanted to discuss on this episode. Now, kind of sticking to somewhat of a not so pleasant thing to talk about, but it is something, again, that was brought to our attention over the weekend, and that is talking about Columbus Blue Jackets winger Patrik Laine, who through the NHL, the league announced that on Sunday that Columbus Blue Jackets forward Patrik Laine has entered the NHL and NHLPA's Player Assistance Program and will be away from the club for an undetermined amount of time. And neither the NHL nor the Blue Jackets will disclose Laine's reason for entering the program, which assists players and their families with mental health, substance abuse, and other matters. So we add just yet another player who has entered their name into this. We've talked about players several times on NHL Weekly here that have entered their name into it. Valerie Nichushkin went in there, Carey Price as well, and several other players that we've mentioned before. Even Dylan Dubé, I believe, entered his name into it, but I'm not entirely sure if that was fully correct, although it seems to be now that maybe that wasn't exactly the truth as to why he was going in there or why he was leaving the team. But Laine, per the program rules, Laine will continue to get paid during his time in the program, but he must be cleared by the program before he's allowed to rejoin the NHL club. So the program itself has to determine and deem that Laine is well enough to go back and play. Now, Laine has been out of the Blue Jackets lineup since he suffered a fractured clavicle back on December 14th against the Toronto Maple Leafs. He joined the Blue Jackets for the start of their current road trip, but left the club late last week per the club sources. So Laine is going to be out for an extended period of time. It might be a couple of weeks. It might be a couple of months. It might be the entire season. We do not know. It also should be mentioned that Adam Fantilli of the Blue Jackets also left their most recent morning skate in a boot and in crutches. So things have not gone well at all in Columbus this entire year. We've talked about the Blue Jackets several different times throughout the year with just things not going well and what has been a very, very trying year, a difficult year for the Blue Jackets, their fans, the organization as a whole. It's just been crazy. I also did want to read a quote from Patrik Laine. He said, quote, "After careful consideration and discussions with my support network and the team, I have recognized the importance of prioritizing my mental health and well-being." Laine shared in an Instagram story post. "Hockey has been my passion and my life, but I have realized that to perform at my best, I need to take this time to focus on myself." And the one thing that I will tell all of you hockey fans is this. Please, please, please be respectful of Laine and his privacy during this time. It's not easy for anybody to admit that they may have issues and that they need to have them taken care of. And this just goes to show you that there are things that are just bigger in life than sports in general. And I commend Patrik Laine that he is putting this season and everything, to the side to focus on what's most important for him, and that is working on himself so that he could be the best person that he could be and also be the best and most focused hockey player that he can be. So we won't know when Patrik Laine will come back this season, if he does come back at all, but he is entering the NHL and NHL Players Assistance Program, and we wish him nothing but the best and a speedy, speedy recovery during this difficult time for him for sure. So that's where we are with that. Now, let's shift over to something a little bit more positive, kind of a milestone, a record nonetheless, that was broken over the weekend, and that is by Auston Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs, who sets a new Maple Leafs franchise record. So on Saturday night, Auston Matthews became the first player this season to score his 40th goal of the season in just his 46th game of this campaign. The goal was scored while the Maple Leafs were in a 5-on-3 power play opportunity and gave the club a 3-1 lead in the third period, and it ended up being a game winner as the Leafs went on to defeat the Winnipeg Jets 4-2 at Canada Life Center. It was also Auston Matthews' 600th NHL point, becoming the fastest Maple Leaf in franchise history to hit that point total in just his 527th NHL game. And at just 26 years of age, the Scottsdale, Arizona native hit the 40-goal plateau for the fifth consecutive season and sixth time in his career. So Auston Matthews continued to arguably be not only one of the best players in the NHL for sure, but I think you could argue that he's probably the best overall American-born player in the NHL right now, and certainly well on his way to what is going to eventually, many years down the road, be a Hall of Fame career. And he is having a phenomenal year, in a year where many people consider him to even be one of the favorites to win the Hart Trophy and the Rocket Richard and do a lot of really great individual things. Now, no player has hit the 70-goal plateau in a season since Teemu Selanne and Alexander McGillney both scored an incredible 76 goals during the 1992-93 season. Matthews is on pace right now to shatter his previous career high of 60 goals during the 2021-2022 season. Now, it is going to be a challenge. He still needs 36 more goals, and if you look at it, I think overall it's not looking super promising. But if Matthews can have a bunch of games, especially when we get back from the All-Star break, where he's potting 2 or 3 goals and really get hitting his stride, that he could make reaching the 70-goal plateau that much more possible. And you think about even guys like Connor McDavid, David Pastrnak, Matthew Tkachuk, all these guys that I can label off for hours. None of them, including Matthews, have been able to hit this 70-goal mark. We have not seen it in the 21st century. And so I think for the NHL, it would be huge if they could have a player reach something as special as a 70-goal mark in an NHL season. And Matthews will certainly look to try to do that once the season continues after this All-Star break, which just happens to be in the home city that Auston Matthews has called home his entire career, and that is in Toronto. So big congratulations to Auston Matthews, 600 career points, fastest Maple Leaf player to reach that plateau, first 40-goal scorer of the NHL season, and really, you want to keep your eye on number 34 throughout the rest of the season to see what type of damage he can really do moving forward. He's only 20 goals away from tying his previous career high, which we mentioned before, and only 21 away from breaking it. I think him reaching 60 plus is very likely. In terms of hitting 70, I think he's going to have a couple of really big time games to make that more of a realistic thing. And especially in this day and age of the NHL, where it seems less and less likely with the different types of rules. But you never know. So we'll keep our eye on it. But again, congratulations to Auston Matthews on breaking some records and some milestones as he continue on with his incredible career. And let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Do you guys think that Auston Matthews is going to reach 70 or more goals this season? Do you think that he's going to at least break his career high? Where do you guys see him at the end of this season here with still 30-plus games left to go in this NHL season? Now back to a little bit more sad news, as we got word over the weekend that Rangers forward Chytil will be out the rest of the season for the Rangers with what is described as an upper body injury. And on the screen here is the Instagram post that Chytil posted over the weekend. So Chytil will be out the rest of this year for the New York Rangers because of what is deemed to be described as an upper body injury. The Rangers said the 24-year-old forward had a thorough evaluation after he was helped off the ice at MSG, Madison Square Garden, on Friday, a setback from the injury that has kept him out of the lineup since early November. So you think about this, Chytil's been out for nearly 3 months now with several injuries, and it's really been crushing to see him get back to a level where he was skating and everything, and there's a lot of high hopes, and now his season has just completely been ended. Chytil went down during an optional morning skate before New York's 5-2 loss at home to the Vegas Golden Knights. Team trainers tended to Chytil, and he was helped off the ice by literally the only 2 other players that were on the ice during morning skate, Zach Jones and forward Jake Leschyshyn. I probably said that wrong as well, but nonetheless, kind of a crushing blow for the Rangers and Chytil. This was a guy that a lot of Rangers fans were hopeful that he could come back at some point. There's been a lot of high hopes over the young player. He has been really developed well since coming to New York, and it's just so unfortunate to see him get that close to coming back and then have it all be taken away as he was just having a morning skate. Chytil would say in his Instagram post here, "It has been the hardest 3 months of my life and has not been easy for my family, closest people, and of course, for the whole New York Rangers organization. But we got to stay positive even in these tough moments and just think what is ahead of us. Thanks to all for nice messages. I'll come back stronger than ever." So nice little positive post there from Chytil, but still for the Rangers, who definitely have hit a little bit of a funk over the last couple of weeks. They were certainly hoping to get Chytil back to maybe give them a little bit of a boost, a little bit of energy, but he will not be wearing a Rangers sweater for the rest of this season. He had 6 assists in 10 games before before he was sidelined in early November and has not returned since. So we wish nothing but the best for Chytil, and we hope that he can make a healthy recovery and be able to come back and play next season. We are all hoping that number 72 can be back for the Blue Shirts, in the safest way possible. So, yeah, Chytil will be out for the rest of this season with an upper body injury. So the last thing I wanted to share with you, kind of a fun thing, and I want to get your guys' opinions on them as well, because I know that this is one of those topics that everybody really likes to talk about, and that is jerseys. And most specifically, last week we talked about the All-Star Game jerseys for this year. Well, today I want to share with you guys the unveiling of the 2024 NHL Stadium Series jerseys, which were revealed on Friday morning of this past week. And so here they are. So you have on the left, you have the Flyers and Devils jerseys, and then you have the New York Rangers and the New York Islanders on the right. So this is what we're getting this year. This doesn't surprise me in terms of the design, because it's big. The numbers are big. Everything is big, because that's what the Stadium Series has always been. Just unique, kind of off the wall type of designs that really kind of catch your eye. And I think that's really kind of the point of all this. So the Adidas designed jerseys for each of the 4 teams playing feature bold designs, oversized numbers, and letters that convey a futuristic vision of hockey played outdoors. They also each have the word Stadium Series on the inside back neck. So if you've gotten an Adidas jersey in the past, which I would imagine most of you have, you can look on the back and you can see that usually teams have something written on the back, or have something like, the Stanley Cups that they won or whatever, kind of a unique thing on the neck, which I've always thought was kind of cool that Adidas did. And this time, it's just going to be Stadium Series for all 4 teams that are involved. And just to give you guys just a reminder, the New Jersey Devils will face the Philadelphia Flyers on Saturday, February 17th. I will be in attendance for that game. That'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern on ABC, ESPN+, SN1, and TVASD. And the New York Rangers will play the New York Islanders the following day, February 18th, 3 p.m. Eastern, ABC, ESPN+, SN, TVAS. Both games will be at MetLife Stadium, home of the NFL's New York Giants and New York Jets in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So again, mainly here, this is supposed to be like a Devils outdoor showcase. This is a stadium that I think a lot of people knew at some point was going to get involved. There's certainly been some questions as to why do they need to play 2 games. Well, they want to feature all 4 of these Metropolitan Division teams, and you got obviously some solid matchups. You got the Battle of the New Jersey Turnpike in the Flyers against the Devils, and then you have the Battle of New York / Long Island with the New York Islanders against the New York Rangers, a very long and heated rivalry for sure. Now, let me give you a little bit of description that the NHL put for each of these jerseys. We'll start with my personal favorite, and biased because I do cover the New Jersey Devils. It's the New Jersey Devils with a very sick red and black jersey. New Jersey, which has played in one previous outdoor game, the 2014 Stadium Series at Yankee Stadium, where they lost to the Rangers 6-3, will wear a dark red sweater with black stripes and an uncircled Black Devils logo on the crest. This is a design of a jersey from Devils fans' perspective that we have kind of wanted for a while. We saw a lot of promotion throughout the last couple of weeks, and we finally got what we expected to see. And honestly, I think it looks great. I know that some people wanted a black jersey with a red NJ instead of the black one, but it looks awesome. This is also the first time that you're seeing the Devils have a jersey with the logo that doesn't have the circle. And I know for some people they want to have the circle, but I think it's nice to kind of change it up. I think overall, this is pretty much a 10 out of 10 for me. I think maybe the only thing maybe I would have changed is instead of on the shoulders there, instead of it being black, I would have kept that just red. Other than that, I think it looks great. I definitely want to get my hands on one for sure. The Flyers will don white sweaters with the burnt orange color on the sleeves. The nameplate will stretch around the sweater, creating sleeve stripes with the Flyers crest on the front. This will be the 6th outdoor game for Philadelphia, which has gone 1-3-1. It last played outdoors in the NHL Outdoors at Lake Tahoe back in 2021. I think that one is solid, simple, looks good. Also, the Flyers have done a boatload of different stadium series and outdoor jerseys. So when you have a team playing in as many as the Flyers have and some other teams, it's a little harder to make designs that really stand out. But I think it's a solid one nonetheless. Now, to the New York Islanders. I will say off the bat that I really feel like this was a piss poor attempt. I don't think it's that good. I think it's very boring. Maybe it'll look better in person on the ice. Sometimes it's how it works with these jerseys. But overall, what I've seen already, not really much a fan. The Islanders jerseys are blue with a large orange stripe with the word Isles, of course, in it. It's again, Isles, short for Islanders, also used on their hashtag on Twitter. In one of the largest chest stripes Adidas has ever made for the NHL. So this is clearly, they're really, really making this stand out. It is meant to evoke the Plimsoll line painted on the hull of the ships. Okay? The Islanders lost their only previous outdoor game appearance also in the 2014 NHL Stadium Series when they also lost to the New York Rangers at Yankee Stadium. And then you have the Rangers, and you knew that a lot of people were worried about how this came out. I will say off the bat, I think they're awesome. I think the NYR, down the side there, I think looks really cool. It's a unique thing. Rangers fans haven't seen it before. I know that a lot of Rangers fans are not happy about it, but also let's put it this way. This is your 7th outdoor game. How many more different combinations of things can people do with an outdoor jersey? Am I right? I think it looks very cool personally. The Rangers will wear white jerseys, which have blue, white, and red stripes similar to that of their current road jersey. The initials NYR adorn diagonally in the front of the Rangers' famous drop shadow font. This is the Rangers' 6th outdoor game. New York is 5-0 in outdoor games. They have yet to lose an outdoor game at this point. Their last appearance was back in the 2018 Winter Classic at Citi Field in Queens, New York, the home of the New York Mets, when they won in overtime against the Buffalo Sabres. Now, people are going to ask, well, when can you get a hand on one of these jerseys? Well, the jerseys will not be made available until February 5th. The NHL jerseys will be available at NHLShop.com, Fanatics Network online stores, NHL Shop New York City at Manhattan West, and team stores beginning, as mentioned, on February 5th, which, I'm just going to be honest, I don't know when that was determined, but it seems a little bit strange that the NHL would do that on the same day that, you have this Hockey Canada situation going on. Maybe they're trying to do it to distract us or whatever the case may be. I don't want to get too deep into conspiracy theories, but I just think that the timing is just strange and I'm not comfortable with it. In terms of entertainment during these games as well, the big one is the Jonas Brothers, who are born and raised in New Jersey, will perform an opening concert, about a 30-minute opening concert ahead of the Devils Flyers game. And then the somewhat well-known group, AJR, will perform during an intermission of the Rangers Islanders game. So that is all you need to know, including the jerseys, for this year's NHL Stadium Series. Again, February 17th and 18th at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Also, right now on all teams' NHL shops, you can purchase different things like hats, shirts, and hoodies, and so much more. All of that is available right now for the Stadium Series. The jerseys, not yet. And it'll be really interesting because you're only giving fans about 12 days. Who knows how difficult the shipping will be, how long it will take. Hopefully it won't be too much of an issue. We'll see what the pricing is and all that stuff, but we'll see how they come out when you get a chance to get your hands on one and things like that. And let me know what you guys think of all the jerseys. Do you like them? Do you not like them? What order you would put them in terms of what you like? Let me know in the comment section down below. Would really, really love to interact with you guys. And on that note, guys, that is going to wrap it up for us on this edition of NHL Weekly. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, new episodes here every single Monday. Make sure you like this video, you subscribe, and certainly hit that notification bell so you get notified every time a new episode comes out. And also, when we go live for NHL Live watch-alongs covering every team in the NHL with so many different hosts of podcasts throughout the network doing play-by-play and color commentary of your favorite team. So make sure you guys go check it out as well for all of that. And again, make sure to check out all the podcasts here on THPN, including mine, the Devil's State of Mind podcast, which covers the New Jersey Devils. We are here on YouTube, Devil's State of Mind. We are also on Twitter at Devil's State and Instagram at Devil's State of Mind. So make sure you guys go check out the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, video format, audio format. Would really appreciate the support. And make sure to follow the Hockey Podcast Network on all social media platforms, both here on Instagram and Twitter at HockeyPodNet. And also you can follow my personal Twitter that you can see right at the top right of your screen at the NVP Show, THENVPSHOW. So once again, thank you so much for checking out this edition of NHL Weekly, and we will see you in the next episode. Everyone have a nice, relaxing, it's the All-Star break, so not a lot of action going on, but a nice, relaxing week. We hope you enjoy the NHL All-Star Game and All-Star festivities. Have a great week, and as always, hockey fans, make sure to rock on.